but I want you to know that I'm rocking with you. I just don't think it's responsible of me to say I do at this point when I still need work. I still need to get to the point where I'm 100% in, and I'm not gonna have you over here thinking that this is not gonna work.
Hey guys, welcome to Little Black Bert 91. We're talking to you guys obviously about Clay's situation. I want to keep it 100 a buck, keep it real. These situations are always painful when you go to an altar and they say no. It's painful regardless who you are and what happens. But I want to have a real conversation. Here's my crazy theory about Clay and AD. I think it's more about attraction, right? And I think Clay's got two things. He's afraid of commitment, but I think also he was never convinced about AD physically. And we have to be very honest. The phenomenon behind men and attraction is very simple. Men are attracted and they do. Men are moved by beauty and then they do, right? I remember studying the word and I was reading it and I was like, beauty is almost a grace because it's something that's given to each individual person. It's an unmerited favor. It's unearned. And so when there's a beauty that moves many men, it's a grace. And so men are moved by the power of grace, the power of beauty. And so with AD and Clay here, I personally think in my theory that AD was not Clay's original type. Okay, he's got a sports look. He's tall. He's handsome. He's 6 foot, whatever. She had a perfect type that she wanted, but I don't feel like he had a perfect type. Now, many people surmise this different ways. We saw at the very beginning when they entered into the reveal. How I saw him look at her, I was like, I'm not sure he's really feeling her. Then the kisses on the shoulder, not on the lips straight away, was a little bit some way as well. The comments a lot of the time were about the body. He did mention how beautiful she was, but at points, a lot of more times, we can recall him talking about her body, not necessarily her face. And the face is a very important thing. The face plus the body is an important thing. And so I'm going to go biblical with it a little bit and kind of bring you into an understanding of what happened between Clay and AD, I think, for my own crazy theory. I really feel like because he wasn't his physical type facially, that is what caused also him not to go past his own limits and do above and beyond what he could do. You see, men will always go above what they can do when they fancy you, when they like you, when they find you attractive. They will always go above and beyond. And the reason being is because they've attached value to your physicality. Now, of course, when we want to settle down, we look beyond just the physicality. We go, okay, physical first, but then we look to see what mind does she have, what thought process does she have. Is she somebody who I can settle down with, who's got motherly skills or can cook and can do this? We will look for those things that keep us attached long term. But the first part is the attraction piece. So we're going to get deeper into this conversation. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Click on the bell button as well if you haven't already subscribed. We want to make sure you guys are joining us on this channel and this journey as well. All right, we're going to be back in 2 seconds.
Black, you know what time it is. Time it is. Time it is. Time it is. Time it is.
So, you've been watching, obviously, Love Is Blind, and I'll play a little bit more of the clip in a second or two. And AD was rejected by Clay on the altar. Many of us have different opinions. We all feel like Clay shouldn't have told her at the very beginning, shouldn't have waited till she gets on the altar. Whether that's production, whether that's Clay himself, whatever. Jimmy told old girl before they got to the altar. So clearly there's a way to do this. Clay didn't protect her, and we can talk about another video about how men protect those who they find attractive. Clay didn't protect her. And part of that is to do with the fact that there's an attraction piece. When you are invested attractively and you give value to that person, you tend to go above and beyond in your means and your measures and the way you behave. It does not stop men mistreating you. It just adds a little oomph to men and how they treat you, right? That's why you see we call it pretty privilege, how women, when they are pretty, get different types of privileges. Well, the same can be said in relationship format. Sometimes they just don't fancy you the way they need to, and so they don't give you the privilege of the protection, the provision, and the love and the care, and being a priestly, speaking life into you as you go. So let's kind of look at this a little bit on the show, and then we'll look at this from a biblical perspective.
I'll put the work in for you, and we'll go through this together. I don't care what nobody says. I know fully I'm not ready for marriage, and you deserve the best. And if I'm not ready to give that 100%, I won't go there with.
So obviously Clay's let her know, listen, if I'm not 100%, I'm not there, I'm not going to be able to go there with you. I don't want to mislead you. I don't want to drag you. I mean, he did drag her on. So it's not like he didn't drag her. He dragged her along. But let's go to something biblical to make you understand what I mean by men and their attractions and how they treat people. That when a man is attracted, there's a certain type of behavior that he's willing to elicit. And there's this great story with Jacob and Laban, Rachel and Leah. If you've ever heard the story, I'm going to read parts of it to you because I think it will really help you understand what's going on and why I feel like this story is a big story to talk about. Because honestly, it begins to really open your eyes to how us as men kind of do behave when it comes to attraction. Let me just put this on the screen for you guys as well. We're going to go for it. Trust me, we're going to go for it. Here we go. Okay. Can I do it this way? Okay, so let me do it this way so that you guys can see it that way. Fantastic. I'm going to make it slightly bigger so you guys can see it. Okay. All right, so there we go. All right, so we got Jacob and obviously the situation with him, right? Okay, cool. So I want to start here. Do you know? Okay, cool. Let's start here first and foremost, right? I'm going to read it from verse 6. It says, he said to them, it is well with him. They said, it is well. And see, Rachel, his daughter, is coming with sheep. He said, behold, it is still high day. It's not time for the livestock to be gathered together. Water the sheep and go and pasture them. This is Jacob talking, telling the shepherds, why haven't you watered the sheep yet? And they're telling him, well, here's the reason why. But they said, we cannot until all the flock are gathered together and the stone is rolled from the mouth of the well. Then we will water the sheep. Now, let's pause it right there. Okay, why am I pausing it here? Because there's an action that's going to happen. They're telling him they can't roll back the stone until the sheep, the last shepherd, comes in. That shepherd is Rachel, it's a woman. The baddest bee around. Okay, all right. I want you to think of this from a Clay and an AD perspective. The shepherd has come. It's a shepherdess. Sorry, it's Rachel. AD's coming, right? But AD's not Rachel. AD's Leah in the story. And I'm going to show you what I mean by this, right? So Rachel's coming in. Okay, look what it says. Verse 9 says, while he was speaking with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she was a shepherdess. Now, as soon as Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, Jacob came near and rolled a stone from the well's mouth and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother. Look, as soon as he saw Rachel, approaching, because of course he told the shepherds, why haven't you done it already? He's a shepherd himself. But he's like, as soon as he saw Rachel come, the guy went into action mode. Ha! Come and see action, quick! When men are invested physically, they do certain different behaviors. You see, when men are moved by that beauty, it's what prompts them to action. So if a woman is attractive enough to a man, he will prompt into action in that immediate moment. Now, of course, some people are scared. That's another story for another day. But he was moved straight away into action. Look, he already told the shepherds, why haven't you moved the stone? But as soon as Rachel got there, my man's rolling back the stone, by himself, rolling back the stone. Okay? All right? It says here, listen, that this is what it says. He rolled the stone from the well's mouth and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother. He ended up watering the mouth of the sheep too. The extra work he's doing. This wasn't his sheep, It says, then Jacob kissed Rachel and wept aloud. The brother is weeping as he kisses the girl because he finds her disattractive. You're going to find out, look. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's kinsman and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father. Okay? Look at this. I want to skip this. I want to skip this part. Okay, cool. Okay, here. Now, verse 16 says, now Laban had two daughters. The name of the older was Leah. So Leah's the older daughter. And the name of the younger was Rachel. Now, pay attention to what it's going to say. Leah's eyes were weak, but Rachel was beautiful in form and appearance. Woo! The Bible be doing stuff to us. When it comes to Clay and AD, and I want to be real with you, right? When it comes to Clay and AD, the situation is this. Men can see the beauty in your body. Yes, they can see the attractiveness in your body, but they want both the form and the appearance, meaning they want both the body and the face. So in the situation with Rachel and Leah was weak in the eyes. She had beautiful eyes that would make you feel, ooh, baby, your eyes are beautiful. But she didn't have the form or the appearance. And Rachel had both. She's winning. Body. And at the same time, she also has a face, right? Now, that's going to move a man in a different way. We know that because the brother kissed her and wept aloud. He found what he found, okay? All right? Now, let's go back to this, right? and let me just talk about this sorry, before I go there. Clay, when I saw him move with AD, I saw how excited he was about the body of AD. And so the sex that was presented to him by AD was amazing. It's going to be great, yeah, because you're sexing the body. But the attraction piece isn't just the body, it's also the face. And then it's the mind. And so for Clay, I don't think he was fully convinced. I don't think he was ever fully convinced. I wanna play this, go this part here. Okay, again, Leah's eyes were weak, but Rachel was beautiful in form and appearance. Jacob loved Rachel, and he said, I will serve you for 7 years for your younger daughter Rachel. Look, whatever Jacob had seen, the brother said, I'm willing to serve for 7 years for your daughter, okay, because I love her. Okay, all right, now look what it says here. So Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and it seemed to him but a few days because of the love he had for her. What the heck did he love about Rachel? Well, I mean, we don't really know. Only we know is that he found her attractive, that he's willing to commit, right? He found her attractive, and maybe the fact they were both shepherds, but he was willing to commit. Because where was Leah? Leah was not in the field. Leah was not in the field being a shepherd. This is another thing as well about, and then we'll go to that another day, because Leah didn't have the shepherdess. We didn't see in the field. We see Rachel doing that. And there's a reason why it's important, because similarly enough, Rebecca, his mother, I don't want to go too deep. I'll drop that another day. We'll drop the nuggets another day. But specifically this point here, right? We're talking about, so this point here, talking about obviously, you know, that he had love for her. We have to go by that, right? Okay, so the next part I want to focus on is verse 25. Fantastic, yeah, verse 25. Here we go. Verse 25, okay, verse 24, 25. But it says it, verse 23. But in the evening, this is Laban. Laban is the father of Leah and Rachel. It says, but in the evening, he took his daughter Leah and brought her to Jacob, and he went into her, had sex. Laban gave his female servant Zilpah to his daughter Leah to be a servant. In the morning, I want you to understand something. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. This is the reverse. Unfortunately, in the deepest of the night, in the evening, he took his daughter Leah, which means it was dark. Okay? It was dark. And it was dark enough for him not to pay attention enough to see that the person he was getting was the other daughter. Now, for 7 years, if you don't remember her, if you don't know her smell and her voice, that's your business. In the morning, behold, it was Leah. And Jacob said to Laban, what is it you've done to me? Did I not serve you for Rachel? Why then have you deceived me? Okay, cool. He actually worked for 14 years, but let me go to verse 31. When the Lord saw that Leah was hated, which means unloved, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. Let me say it again. When the Lord saw Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. Why am I putting this out here? Because simply put, Clay was not convinced about AD. And look, they're going to probably do some relationship stuff after. Maybe they'll get married later and I'm wrong. But from what I can see is they're going to extend the relationship continuously because he made a whole bunch of excuses why he couldn't be with her. Instead of taking control of the scenario and saying, actually, you know what? I want you so bad, but I want to say this. We're not going to get married today. I'm going to get myself into therapy. I'm going to do this. He should have done that before the altar, but he wanted to go to the altar and do that. He didn't cover her. He didn't protect her, right? He ran game on her. And then potentially what's going to happen is the next 2-3 years, they're going to waste time, right? Because if you want the ring, now he's forced you into a scenario. So if he wants it, he should go away and he should do the work and then he should come back. If not, he more than likely he's going to waste your time. Okay, let's go on. Okay, so it says here, when the Lord saw Leah, she was unloved or hated. He opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. Now I want you to watch this, verse 32. And Leah conceived and bore a son. She called his name Reuben, for she said, because the Lord has looked upon my affliction, for now my husband will love me. Now, why would she have that thought process? Right? That he would love me. Okay? I want to pay attention now because we're going to get deeper. Okay? Because the Lord has looked upon my affliction, for now my husband will love me. Then it goes on. She conceived again and bore a son. And she said, because the Lord has heard that I am hated or unloved, he has given me this son also. She called his name Simon or Simeon. And again, she conceived and bore a son and said, now this time my husband will be what? attracted to me because I've borne him 3 sons. She's got it wrong. And we're going to go deeper another day, another talk about that, right? But she thought, okay? She thought that it would change his mind. You winning him by manipulation is not going to change his mind. You winning him by being a help, not a helpmate, but being a help, where you become a counselor, a therapist, become, his therapist, it's not going to change things. It's not going to make him love you. It's not going to make him want you the way you want him to want you. That's why some of the things that Clay was saying to AD was consistently about how great she helps him and how you made me see this, you made me see that, you made me see this, but not really about what he actually feels about how he feels towards her. You know what I'm saying? It was more about how she made him feel through how she served him and how she helped him, but less about actually the relationship in terms of how he cares for her, right? And so that's really critical because that's the same thing that happened to Leah because she was trying to compete against Rachel. And AD is competing against an unknown ghost Rachel that doesn't exist right now, but it exists in the mind of Clay. And so she will never win because she will always be Leah, unloved, and not the one that he finds attractive. Men are moved by attraction in the first going. Okay? The body gets you excited, and it will be exciting for the next 2 to 3 years. But after it plateaus and we get to a normal part of the relationship, the sex can't hold a man. And the attraction that he has, if it's based on sex and based on your body, won't last long. And people that are often attracted to the body and attracted to, your body in that sense, oftentimes are through sexual means. And that sexual energy that they have towards you, oftentimes from a place of woundedness. And we know Clay's issue. He's wounded. We know that because of what his father did and how the mum spoke. Okay? So when you're not attracted to that woman, oftentimes there's not enough danger from that woman because she's not what you want. So there'll be no danger, and there's no danger that makes you not want to move. That danger is what creates excitement, makes your heart flicker. You get me? It's a madness out here. Okay? So, listen, I'm going to leave it there. Okay? I think I've spoken quite enough on that. I just don't think Clay fancied AD that way, and he was not going to commit. And I don't think he will commit. And we can talk about another day about commitment issues, and that stems from emotional wound. But for me personally, Clay didn't find her attractive in the face and in the body. And that's what creates the uncommitment and the feeling of being unloved. And that's where potentially our good sis will end up for the rest of the season that they're in together, if that doesn't change and he doesn't get to work and get to really healing some of the wounds that he has. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification uploads. Appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded. We'll see you again very, very soon.
Little black, you know what